The U.S. government has declared the polar bear a threatened species because of the loss of Arctic sea ice, the bear's primary habitat, and critical to its survival.
Although the population of bears has grown from a low of about 12,000 in the late 1960s to approximately 25,000 today, our scientists advise me that computer modeling projects a significant population decline by the year 2050. This, in my judgment, makes the polar bear a threatened species, one likely to become in danger of extinction in the foreseeable future.
But Kempthorne, echoing views expressed by President Bush, said it would be wholly inappropriate to use the protection of the bear to reduce greenhouse gases.
Listing the polar bear as threatened can reduce avoidable losses of polar bears, but it should not open the door to use the ESA to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from automobiles, power plants, and other sources. That would be a wholly inappropriate use of the Endangered Species Act.
The department outlined a set of administrative actions and limits to how it planned to protect the bear with its new status so that it would not have wide-ranging adverse impact on economic activities, from building power plants to oil and gas exploration. Studies last year by the USGS suggested 2/3 of the polar bear population would be lost in coming decades in the Arctic region.
The Wildlife Conservation Society is delighted to hear that the Fish and Wildlife Service has chosen to list the polar bear. This agency is a steward of conservation on our behalf, on behalf of the globe.
Environmentalists have mixed reactions, and we're already mapping out plans to file lawsuits challenging the restrictive measures outlined by Kempthorne.
The polar bear is more endangered today than it was yesterday, and it will be more endangered tomorrow than it is today, and that will continue until our government does something meaningful to address the global warming that threatens its survival.
Ian Murray from the Competitive Enterprise Institute, a free enterprise advocacy group which opposes listing the polar bear as threatened, says the animal is being used by environmentalists to win sympathy in the fight over global warming legislation.
I think what we've got here is the polar bear has just been used as a proxy for global warming legislation. They can't get legislation through Congress, so they're using litigation to try and impose restrictions on greenhouse gases.
CEI claims listing the polar bear as a threatened species could have enormous consequences for the U.S. economy. A species is declared threatened under the Endangered Species Act if it's found to be at risk of becoming endangered in the foreseeable future. If it does not make progress toward recovery, it can be declared endangered, meaning it's at risk of extinction and needs even greater protection.